Here's my MailChimp account. Now, for the hundreds of hours I poured into MailChimp, I can't prove to you I ever made $1 off of that time. And that tends to be the hallmark of doing things that aren't working well. And now there's very good reasons for that. You could say, Jerry, you're just no good at MailChimp. That's certainly possible. You could say, Jerry, you didn't get enough subscribers on your list. That's certainly possible. You could say, Jerry, you shouldn't use double opt-in on your list. That's certainly possible. The thing is, my time with MailChimp did not get me a good return, even though I put a lot of effort into it. And most things I put a lot of effort into tend to get a good return. The problem with MailChimp was it was not very easily scalable. Like Udemy is very easily scalable. Even the Facebook messages is very easily scalable if you just keep a small number of clients and do a really good job with them. You don't need to send that many Facebook messages, like I did, to get success. So let's take a look at my MailChimp account and reflect on the things going on in here and compare that to what happens with using these other strategies. So in my MailChimp, I busted my ass. I worked really hard to get these subscribers. You can see over about 6 months, I tried to get subscribers. I started with just a few, and then I just added people from my existing customer list. You can see the open rate was kind of low, the click rate was kind of low. So then I purged a bunch of them, the open rate went up a lot, and the clicks went up a lot. I started sending emails on a very regular basis, got good engagement with a few hundred people. The problem always was getting more people on the list. You can see I've got 630 subscribers now, and that's March 2015. I'm looking at this. So 9 months later, I could have had a baby in that amount of time, and what I've got 630 subscribers. The thing is, getting these email marketing subscribers tends to be like pulling teeth. And the reason is people are already on a whole bunch of email lists. I get hundreds of emails a day. Everyone emails me, and that's with me making a hell of an effort to stop people from emailing me. I turn off email on almost everything, and I still get tons of emails every day. So if you look at all of these campaigns, I put effort into it, and here's one I did. The thing is, this takes a lot of time, and it's in a totally different format then. Then I have to go through, and then it's, do I try and get them to actually read the email, or do I try and get them to click on a link with it? I get everything set up nicely so that the email looks good, and it works good. I start with their name, so it does good personal engagement. The problem is, I'm always going somewhere else to try and make money. So I'm trying to send them right back to my Udemy courses to make money, or I'm trying to send them back to my website, or I'm trying to get money out of it somehow. And the frustrating thing, it always comes down to clicks. Well, if you notice 630 subscribers, 5% clicks. Let's just go through and do quick math. I can do it in my head, but we'll do it here so you can see it. 31 clicks I'm looking to get out of 630 subscribers, and then that's not an actual sale. That's just clicks, and often those are on free things on my website, so the clicks are probably lower for sales. I didn't even have enough traffic to merit trying to sell that much. I see a couple of Udemy instructors are making a few thousand a month on a list 10 times as big as mine. So compare that to what I can do on Udemy. So it takes me less time and effort to write an email on Udemy, and I can send that out to 20,000 people. And I've put maybe a little more effort into building my Udemy than I put into building this MailChimp list. And Udemy has not only paid me to get students, but then I've got tons of students with no effort at all. And then I've got social proof. This is all I have to show you for this MailChimp list. This is it. That's it. I don't get any social proof out somewhere online. I have this little list. And every individual email is my responsibility. If one person, so I can go back and show you some of the stats on this. Here's are my stats. And so if I go through, I can show you the campaign performance throughout history, and you'll note that I have people that are uncleaned. I've had lots of people unsubscribed. I unsubscribed most of them. And if you were to look deeper into it, you'd find I probably got 5 or 10 spam reports on it, which is not bad given all the emails I sent. But the problem is it only takes one of the email services to get a little annoyed with me, and all of a sudden my emails are going straight in the spam box. So I work really hard to get this list. I have nothing to show for it except the thing itself. I don't have any social proof. And then if I write something someone doesn't like, all they have to do is go down and unsubscribe and they're gone. Or they can easily flag it spam even when it's not spam. Even when I've worked really hard to make a good email for them, they can flag it spam. And then all of a sudden my open rates are plummeting, my click rates are plummeting. And now this list that I have no value to show gives me nothing. So this frustration with email marketing is why I consistently looked to learn ways to get around the limitations of it. So if you look at this big subscriber number, the biggest reason it's hard to get subscribers is because of trust. So using a third party gets around this. Now MailChimp does have nice automation that you can't do with things like Udemy, but Udemy already has their own automation. So that's actually the beauty of it. So if you go into my automation, you can see I've put a bunch of effort into setting up all these welcome emails. All of that takes time and energy. And then you saw on the previous screen, I only have one list. It's not segmented. Whereas something like Udemy, it's easily automatically segmented. The idea is, unless you have a very specific, good way you're going about building a list on something like MailChimp or Aweber, unless you have a very good entire scheme with it, it's a lot harder to do this well. In other words, even someone like me, even who's done a lot of online marketing, this just takes too much time and energy for me to try and get into it and learn. And of course you could say, well, if you learned it deep down, it'd be worth it. Yes, it might be worth it. But the thing is, with what I'm doing on Udemy and what I've done on Facebook and what I've done on these other platforms, I get instant results. I get sales really fast. Doing this on MailChimp took 6 months. Getting the subscribers was a whole nother game of its own. Total pain in the butt. I put things all over my website. Nothing worked to get a good amount of email subscribers quickly. Nothing like what's available to get more people on Udemy. So this tends to be a big frustration, and what ends up happening is you will give up on it totally. So what I'm sharing, you can do these other email marketing strategies and you're not likely to give up on them. If you'll notice, I gave up on my MailChimp around November 30th. I just stopped bothering to email people. Why spend time emailing them when I barely have time to do my promotional announcements on Udemy? I only have so much time in the day and I can only afford to do so much. So for me, unless I'm willing to do MailChimp as one of the top 3 things I'm going to do, it's not worth doing. And that's the problem. With most people, most companies, email marketing, it tends to be farther down on the to-do list. And then a half-hearted attempt using something like MailChimp gets almost no results. Whereas I can make a half-hearted attempt doing lots of these other activities and it still gets great results. So I hope this has been useful in looking at the disadvantages I personally have found to trying to use MailChimp, with the understanding that if you are willing to work hard at using MailChimp, you probably can figure out a good way to build subscribers and to make sales. But the thing is, it's much easier to just work straight in a platform than it is to try and use MailChimp between your subscribers and whatever you're trying to sell them. So thank you for watching this, and I hope it's helpful.